Well, hello, Madam Seddon, and welcome to Gen Z Discussions. Are you excited?
I am very excited. I'm very excited. You're like the first student I've seen in so many months now, it feels like. So it's just, and it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in probably over a year, I bet. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great seeing you.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited about this.
So to start off, before going into any questions, do you want to first tell us about yourself?
Okay, sure, yeah. Um, let's see. I grew up with my parents, my two sisters, and my brother. I was born in Missouri. We soon moved to Indiana, and after that, by the time I was 3, we lived in Iowa, where I grew up in eastern Iowa, and I stayed there through college. While I was in college, my parents moved out east, though, to southern New Hampshire, which was really fun and exciting to go and visit them in New England and explore that area. But after college, I lived out there for a short month before I started my new job, which I took in Nebraska. So my first teaching job was teaching third grade in Nebraska. After 2 years there, which was a fantastic experience where I learned so much, and I'm still thankful for the opportunity I had there. But I decided I wanted to go to grad school full time. So I moved to Boston and I went to grad school at Boston College, and my master's was in curriculum and instruction. It was a fantastic program. I had the opportunity to work with undergraduate students there, serving them as a supervisor in their field practicum work. And that was a lot of fun to be out in the classrooms there and to get more experience in different classrooms and different types of settings, urban settings, some in public schools, some in private schools. After I finished my experience there, I moved to Connecticut, where I taught second grade for 3 years, and I met my husband outside of New York City, and he was living in New York. So once we were married, I moved to New York, taught in New York, and then after a couple of years, his job took us to St. Louis, where we've been for about 10 years now, and I've had the opportunity to teach elementary school here and now middle school here, and I have a son who's going into middle school now and a daughter going into third grade. So it will be fun to be teaching middle school and have a middle school son. He won't be at my school though, which is will be fine. That's best for him, I think, and everything. But it will be fun to see him grow and learn and see that from a teacher's perspective and a mom's perspective. So that's a little bit about.
That's nice. So my next question is, what inspired you to become a teacher? Was it something from a young age you wanted to do, or along the way did you find the passion?
A little bit of both, actually. I think, when kids are young, people always say, "Oh, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And
Mm-hmm.
I remember always saying, "Oh, I want to be a teacher." I don't know why I said that. My parents weren't teachers. My siblings are not teachers. I have a large extended family, and there are a lot of teachers in my extended family. My grandmother was a teacher, aunts and uncles and cousins. Um, but I can't say it was because of that necessarily. But maybe it's in my blood a little bit. But I do remember in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher had a box under her desk, and she always put the extra worksheets and activity pages in that box. And whenever we had indoor recess, my best friend at the time, Kelly, she and I would always want to play school. So we would get those papers and play school with them, and we get to take them home on the weekend so we could play school. So I can remember as a kid always saying and being excited about the thought of being a teacher. However, when I was in middle school and high school, I thought, oh, maybe I want to be an architect. That was a big thing I wanted to do for a while. But then as I neared graduation from high school, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. But I knew I loved my French classes. I had such a wonderful French teacher. Well, I had two French teachers. They were both great for different reasons. But the one I had for 3 years was especially inspiring and engaging with her instruction in the classroom, and so much fun to be with. So I knew I had a love for French and I wanted to continue with that, but I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do beyond that. But I knew since I was taking French classes in college, I'd get certified to teach. And with that, I had to take 2 classes. One was the Social Foundations of Education in the United States, and the other one was educational psychology for young learners. And these are 2 classes you have to take early on in the program. And it's when I took those 2 classes is when my passion really develop, because all of a sudden it started to click. It's not just the content, that there's so much more to teaching and learning, and that those classes push me to think about curriculum development, instructional methods, the way a child's brain works, what their needs are, what the different types of way they learn, the different types of way of knowing. And those two classes made it all come together for me and realize, wow, there's so much to teaching. This is really exciting. It's really exciting to get to think about how to serve students best and how their minds work. So then I think it really became a passion and interest after taking those early classes in college.
Mm-hmm. That's a wonderful story. So, next, when you were a kid, was there ever like a teacher that really stuck out to you? Like one that you would say, I want to be like this teacher?
Well, my French teacher in high school, Madame,
Mm-hmm.
she is the one I think most often about, because she did just have this wonderful way of building a classroom community. There were students from all walks of life, all backgrounds in the class, but when we were all in there together, it was like we were a family. We just, maybe out in the halls, outside of that classroom or outside of school, we didn't necessarily hang in the same circles or anything, but when we were in that class together, we all got along. We all enjoyed our time learning together. She used a variety of teaching methods, and she had a great rapport with her students, and just made us all excited and enthusiastic about the content on top of it. So I think, when I think about my teachers from my K through 12 experience, she was the one that sticks out the most.
So who was your role model all throughout your life? Who was the person that you would like inspire to be almost?
Well, I can't really say it's one person. I will say it's my parents together. They're both, I was really blessed to have wonderful parents. They truly, truly are. And they both have differences that I look at and I think about and want to be more like them, each for different reasons. They're both extremely loving, extremely kind, and extremely hard workers, strong work ethic. And, my dad is kind and sympathetic and empathetic, and has this amazing way of bringing people together to solve problems, to see both sides of an argument, to come to a consensus. And I really admire that about him. My mom, she just has this quick mind that processes information fast, and she can assess a problem and think of ways or anticipate situations so that she can prevent something from happening or prepare for something to happen so that things can go as best as possible for everybody involved. And I just admire that about her too, because she's always thinking about other people and trying to figure out how to make something work so that everybody can get what they need from the situation. I just admire them too, because they're true to themselves, they're true to their beliefs. They, and those are things I want to be able to be like as well, just set goals, stick to my course in life, be good about, glad and happy with who I am as a person as well. And they just model all of that for me, and I appreciated it and still do.
That is a wonderful answer. Actually, that would be mine too, my mom and my dad.
I would imagine so. I love people. I've had opportunities to meet them too. So they're great role models.
Thank you. So after all these years of teaching, did you ever have like a favorite part that you really seem to enjoy?
You know what? That is a tough question, because I've had a variety of experiences. Each one has been unique and different, and something wonderful, something I've learned from all of them. Early on, I had the opportunity to teach English as a foreign language in the Czech Republic, and that was amazing. It gave me insight into another culture. It encouraged me to start thinking more about why we do what we do in the United States, in the classroom and in American education, and how things look different or the same between two different countries and cultures. So that was exciting. My first teaching job was a wonderful experience too, for so many different reasons. But I worked with third grade students, and then elementary school too. Just fun. Kids, the grades I taught, second and third grade, kids are really excited yet about learning.
Mm-hmm.
Love their teacher, and really always fun. But my job teaching in Nebraska was really different from my job teaching in Connecticut, and the fact that the demographics, there were so many cultural differences, but yet it was really neat to boil it all down and to see, what? Kids still want to learn. Kids are still eager to learn, and their parents, they just want what's best for their kids. So it might look different, but it still comes down to they're still trying to do what's best and right for their children. And for me to learn that about different people across the country or across the world has been a great experience. I've also really enjoyed teaching middle school. That has been a lot of fun. I love the age group. I love seeing too that, they're turning into adults, they're working on growing, they have a voice, they have a different confidence level, they have some different needs. They don't need me to tie their shoes anymore, but they need to really stretch them and grow them to think beyond themselves and about the greater world around them. So honestly, every level I've taught, every place I've taught, I've learned something new that's helped propel me forward, or that's helped me really love my job even more.
So you mentioned that you taught different age groups.
Mhm.
So what do you think was the main difference between each of the ages?
The main differences. Well, that's a great question. You know, I see there's a lot of similarities. Like the main differences would be, like I said, I don't need to help teach tying shoes or blowing noses, stuff like that. Just school students, they have that mastered. But I think some of the things, with my middle school students is helping them realize that, just work on being good with who they are. They're at a point in their lives where they're trying to figure out who they are and seeing their uniqueness and being proud of that and making their own light shine without dimming the lights of others. I think that's something I'm working with right now, the middle school students, and just helping them be confident and helping them be kind to themselves and to be kind to others. Elementary school students are, for the most part, many of them are willing to do what they buy into what the teacher says, and so now in the middle school is inviting the students to be part of that conversation, to not feel like they have to buy into what I say, but to understand why I'm saying it and why it might be in their best interest or benefit them, and how we can work together and grow together.
Yeah. So, Gen Z Discussion is a teen show on IBMTV Teens. So, we are aiming towards a teen audience. So, for the viewers out there, do you have any words of advice?
Oh, for teens, words of advice. Oh, be kind. Be kind for sure. But I think set goals, map out a plan, have dreams, and be okay those goals aren't met if you have to rechart your course. Be flexible and know that having a plan is a great thing, but if along the way there are some obstacles or some unexpected things that come up, to recognize that there are positives that can yet come from them, that there'll be unexpected surprises that you will be thankful for. And I think that'd be my advice.
Well, this is all wonderful advice, and I definitely will take it.
Oh, good.
So, if you could go back and tell your teen self three things, what would they be?
Um, that's a great question. For me, I think I would tell myself to worry less, worry less, that be courageous, be proud of who you are, and to be okay with laughing at yourself, that mistakes or embarrassing situations will be a thing of the past, and it's not something to get worked up over or stuck on, that you'll live through it and you can move forward and you'll learn from it and it will all be okay.
Well, that's great. So now, again, I mentioned most of us are, this show has a teen audience.
Mhm.
So most of us are still like in school. So we don't really know the real world. So what would you say was one misconception that you thought as a kid about the real, which turned out to be completely wrong?
Oh, that is a really tough question for me. That turned out to be completely wrong. That I guess sometimes you'll have this idea that just because someone is in a certain position, that they really, I mean, this sounds negative. I don't want to be negative, but sometimes it happens that sometimes you think, oh, this person's in this position, so they must be trustworthy and honorable and the right person for the job. And that's not always the case. And when you find that out and you learn that, it's a good thing to learn, because then it helps you navigate your course a little bit better on how you interact with that person and manage it. So there are a lot of wonderful people out there who are in the right places at the right time and very deserving of the positions they're in, without a doubt. But I guess that kind of surprised me, that sometimes people land in positions and it's kind of perplexing and you're like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think I definitely right now think about some of these things. So I've always just wanted to know from like the adult perspective, like what was I wrong about from this? So I think that was something great to take away. So now we're almost getting back to school. So are you excited?
I'm very excited. I'm always excited at the school year. I'm always a little nervous too, a little excited, always a bit overwhelmed. But then within a couple of days, it's like, oh yeah, this feels good. This is good.
So what is the thing that you miss the most during the summer? Because typically you don't get to see your students and
Right.
step away from like a lot of the French like work.
Mhm.
So what is it that you miss the most?
I miss the interactions with my students that I have. I do miss that. That is something I really love about my job, is the opportunity to be around different people and different personalities and to have those relationships. So I guess the summer's kind of quiet. I mean, with my kids, which is a lot of fun, and I'm really thankful to have that time with my kids. More one-on-one time, or two-on-one time with my kids at home. But when we get back to school, it's nice to be in that routine, and it's fun to be with a larger pool of people again and having more interaction.
So besides from teaching, what are the stuff you like to do in your free time? Like, do you have any favorite hobbies?
In my free time, well, I love to go for walks. I love to walk, bike, swim. Those are all things I love to do. I love to, well, we love to go on road trips. We love a good car ride. We love to tour the country and see the geography change and try different foods and all of that. And I love to sit on my porch and watch the hummingbirds outside. I love to watch hummingbirds buzz around. They're fascinating. And I have a vegetable garden. I do enjoy gardening.
That's fun. So now we would like to know more about like who you are, just like random facts. So now
Okay.
we've come to the game. So
Okay.
it sounds very mysterious.
It
So
does.
basically, um, what it is I'm gonna ask you 20 random questions. And don't worry,
Okay.
they're about you. So it's not like
Okay.
random trivia, because that would
Okay.
that wouldn't be fun. But
No,
so
I'd have to be quick Googling things, I think.
oh, here comes a catch as well. You have a 5-second timer.
Okay.
So you have to think fast about these answers, and I'm going to have a stopwatch on. And when I say stop, you would have had to set the answer between the 5 seconds.
Okay.
So for every question that you've answered, you get 1 point. And
Okay.
basically, we're trying to play this with all our guests. And once we've had a certain amount play, we're going to create a leaderboard and see who gets the top 5 scores.
All right. Okay.
Are you ready?
I am. I'm excited.
Do you have any questions before we start, or?
Okay, so I just basically try and say the first thing that comes to my mind within those 5 seconds.
Or like, basically, it's kind of like questions about you. So like, for example, what would be your favorite type of jewelry? Go.
Rings.
Perfect. So you're
Okay.
great. You'll do great.
All right.
So let me get my stopwatch right here. So
Okay.
again, you want to try to say the answer before I say stop. So then you
Okay.
can get the point. And we do ask that even if you don't get it within the first 5 seconds, you answer, because again, this is like a get to know you game,
Okay.
but you just wouldn't receive a point.
Okay.
So
Fair
are
enough.
you ready?
Sure.
So the first question, what is your favorite article of clothing?
Shoes.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite pair of shoes? This is just like
Nope.
within a
Yeah,
question.
the ones I'm wearing right now, you want to see them?
Oh yeah.
Only because they're really super comfortable, but yeah, I really like the rose
Ooh.
gold. They're the ones I wear in the house all day long. Because they're so comfortable.
I think that's the best thing with shoes. You're looking for comfort.
Exactly.
So the next question, what word best describes you?
Cautious.
Cautious.
Just, yeah.
So the next one, what is the app you use the most? Go. 4, 5, time's up. But you can still answer.
It's like, where's my phone? Because now, like, my brain goes, oh, what apps do I even have on my phone? The app I use well, it's probably my Target app. Shopping.
Yeah, I love to go shopping. So So the next question, if you could change your name, what would it be?
Oh. Madeline. I don't know. I just said that. Oh, but I do remember like when I was in middle school, I really loved that name.
I think you did get
Named
that
my daughter
point.
that name, but maybe that's why it came to mind.
That's a really pretty name. You did receive that because it was before I said stop.
All
So.
right.
So the next question, what is your spirit animal? Go.
Oh, hummingbird.
Oh, I think you did say it. Hummingbird?
Can that be a spirit animal?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, it's a hummingbird then.
4 points out of the 5 questions, which is great.
Oh, good.
So the next question, what is your go-to snack? Go.
Walnuts.
Walnuts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always find myself snacking on them once in a while. So the next question, what is your favorite holiday? Go.
Holiday is Christmas, I think.
Christmas?
Yeah, I know it is. My kids love it. I loved it as a kid,
So what's your favorite part about it?
Traditions. What?
What's your favorite part about it?
Oh, I think there was always just that anticipation of the excitement of the unknown gifts and family coming together and the big meal and singing carols and that, for my family traditions and everything, that it was a special time.
Definitely. And it's funny because I feel like Christmas had just passed, but all of a sudden, if you think about it, it's like coming up pretty soon, right?
I know. I've
So,
lost, like, time has been really different this year, the sense for sure. Yeah.
So the next question, what is your favorite restaurant? Go.
My favorite restaurant is
5, stop.
Oh,
Oh,
that's extra hard for me because I love trying new foods. So one of the
Mhm.
I pride myself on is trying to go to different restaurants and not always go back to the same one all the time. So I just have so many I like because of, and I'm not a picky eater, so I can eat almost anything except mayonnaise.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I can't eat mayonnaise either. I
I
don't know.
don't know why.
Mhm. But yeah. So you don't have like in particular a favorite. You just like
So let's see. I like, so we've been trying to do carry out once a week,
mhm.
and we'll eat everything. Like, well, one week we might do barbecue, one week we might do Indian, one week we might just do burgers somewhere, one week we might try and find a place that has really good salads. So I don't. We usually try and eat local, or
Mhm.
smaller non-chain type restaurants, that type of thing. But it's, when I'm not, yeah, I can eat almost anything. So
That's a good answer. I think yeah. So the next question. What is the store you shop at the most?
Target.
That's what I was thinking because like
Because
I
of my
thought back to
app.
the app and then I was like
It's close to our house. It's easy.
mhm, definitely. So the next question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
To fly? Ooh, that would
Yes.
be. And you would
Wouldn't that
beat
be
the
great?
traffic and
Yes.
everything.
Just take off.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
So the next question is, what is your favorite meal of the day?
Brunch. If I
Brunch.
don't have brunch every day, but I love brunch. Like brunch,
Mm-hmm.
best of lunch and breakfast. You can't go wrong.
What's your favorite brunch food? Do you have one?
Um, no, not necessarily, but I like quiche. But then I like French toast. Like smoked salmon. I like everything.
So the next question is, where is your dream vacation? One,
So hard. Right now, I'm going to say
five,
Tahiti.
stop. Ooh, was that
I
it?
said Tahiti. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was it.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So do you like traveling?
I love traveling. I love traveling. I think, that's part of what drew me to also to French or teaching world languages is not just the language, but the opportunity to learn about a culture, the, the, the geography of the world around us. And I love, like I said, road trips. I love international travel. I just love the opportunity to meet new people, see new things, understand a different way of life, or try to understand or learn about different ways of life, from the smallest things to bigger issues and topics as well. So absolutely
Mhm,
travel.
definitely. So the next question is, oh wait, hold on, the stopwatch. Who is your favorite singer?
Favorite singer is my daughter. She's not popular or famous, and she doesn't really like to sing in front of other people, but sometimes she will sing for me, and I just love to hear her sing.
That is a great answer. So the next question is, besides French, what was your favorite subject in school?
Geography.
Geography, which
Hmm.
also ties in with like the different cultures, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of geography because I took it, you had to take it in middle school, seventh grade. And I thought
Hmm.
that was one of the most exciting social study class I've ever had because you're just looking at like the perspective of different countries, which is so exciting.
I agree. I agree.
So the next question is, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Cold cereal.
Cold cereal.
No,
Ooh.
I've given it up because I'm trying not to eat as many carbs, or sugar. but I will say, like, I love any kind of cereal. I just,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love cereal too. Do you put the milk in first or the cereal?
put the cereal on first.
That's what I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question is, if you were a Disney princess, who would you be?
Belle.
Belle?
Yeah.
Ooh. I love Beauty and the Beast. I think that's one of my favorite.
Oh, it is. And now that I think about it too, yeah, and because I always associate it with France too, her name being in
Mhm.
musical and everything. But then I was thinking too, I used to love Sleeping Beauty. I think her name was Princess Aurora. I always liked that one too.
hmm So the next one is, what is your favorite sport to watch?
Basketball.
Same. I
Yeah, I like the pace.
I think it goes because I feel like hockey it just goes too fast because like
Hmm.
the puck it just moves
I
around.
can't even keep my eye on it half
Yeah.
the time. The puck, yeah, it goes too fast. I'm like, where is it? Who has it?
hmm
Yeah,
But I think yeah, basketball is just the right pace.
right, exactly.
The next question is, what is your favorite day of the week?
Thursday.
Ooh, Thursday? Do you have a reason?
I feel like the weekend's in sight and you can look back and see what you've accomplished, but you still have time to finish up things too on Friday,
hmm
spot where you're like, you can still have time to do what you need to do before the weekend, but
hmm
forward to the weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the next one is, what is your favorite music genre?
That is so hard. Jazz.
Ooh, I was really close on saying stop, but you got it. So jazz?
I like all types of music. Yeah, I just said jazz. I do like it. I like it. I like all kinds of music.
So the very last question is, what place do you most feel like yourself?
Outside in my
Ah,
yard.
ooh, I think you were a little off on that. So I don't know if I can count that as a full point. Maybe I
Fair
can give you
enough.
half a point. I think we can do that. I'll give you half
Okay,
a point
okay,
for
I'll
that
take it.
last
I'll take it.
one.
It wasn't a solid answer, anyways. It was just me like saying something.
So overall, you got a total score of 17.5, which is great, which is amazing. So a
So
round of
I'm the top
applause.
of the leaderboard as of today, though, right?
Yeah, definitely. So this was really fun. Do you have any final words for the audience before we leave?
No, just to all of those of you who are students getting ready for school, whether you're, remote or in person, all the best to each of you. It's going to be a different year for sure, but as we talked earlier, be okay with changes along the way. Recognize that some positive and unexpected surprises can come up and that there'll be challenges, but it's our opportunity to learn and grow from those challenges, though. So just give it your best shot and don't hesitate to ask questions and seek help as you need help along the way.
Well, it was wonderful having you today on the show. So thank you so much for
You're
agreeing.
welcome. It was so wonderful to see you. This has been so much fun. I love playing the game too. That's great.
So I'm just gonna stop recording.